I had fallen out of wrestling. I had watched like the first 10 years of like 85, like that. And then in 90, I gave it up. And all my friends, we had this beach house for the summer. And they were so into it. So the 19 of us went to see this brawl at the beach. And we were waiting outside. It was like a 95-degree day. And we're online. And I didn't know anything about ECW at the time. And my friends were like, oh, that's Bubba Ray Dudley. He just pulled up in his car. And he was getting out. And the place was packed. The parking lot was packed. There's about 300-400 people online. And for some reason, I thought it would be funny. I have no idea why to this day to yell out, "Hey, Bubba Ray Dudley, you fat fuck." So, remind you, this is the heyday of ECW. And he was across the parking lot a few hundred feet, right? And I was in line with a few hundred people. So I was like, he's not going to know it's me. So I said it. And then my friend Jeff was like, Sal, he's charging over here right now. And I was like, come on, he doesn't know it's me, you know? And I turned, and the parking lot was bumper to bumper cars, and he's jumping over them like fucking Bo and Luke Duke. He's sliding over the hoods of cars, coming at me from hundreds of feet away. And then I said, let me just turn around. And so I'll throw him off. And then I turned around one last time, and there was stanchions. There was like metal stanchions with chains. And he picked up a chain and ripped a chain out of a stanchion. The chain popped out of the stanchion. I was like, this is just not good. He charged right up to me, and my friend's like, he's coming right now. I don't know what else to say. I hope you wish you the best. And I turned around, and he took my Yankee hat off me, and he goes, what'd you just say? And I was like, I just turned into like Rain Man. I was like, I'm just a big fan, just a big fan. I didn't say anything, and he took my Yankee hat, and he just starts slapping me in the face with it. That hurts, though, just so you know. Like, if someone slaps you with all they can with your cap, it hurts. And he was getting whipped in the face, and I didn't want to look up. I thought if I looked up and looked him in the eyes, he could take my head off with one swoop of his hand. So I just kept looking down, going, just a big fan, just a big fan. And he goes, you said it while I was over there, now's your chance to say it in my face. Go ahead, you pussy, or whatever, right? All sorts of expletives he was saying. So I'm like, look, I'm not going to say anything to you. And I see my friend Eddie's pushing security in between us. They're wearing yellow jackets, and the security guards are pushing back because they don't want to be in between us if he takes a swing. So after a couple of minutes of completely demoralizing me, he walks away, and the place goes bananas. Like, they just went nuts, right? And I watch him walk like 400 feet all the way across the ball line. I wait till he gets back inside the building. And I'm like, shit, my hands are shaking. I guess at the time I smoked, so I lit a cigarette, and I was holding it in my hand. I remember it was shaking like that. And everyone just staring at me. I'm like, I gotta say something. So I just took my cigarette, I took a drag, I stepped out of the line. Everyone's looking at me, and I went, anybody else got a problem? And I sat down, and I signed programs the rest of that day, for sure.
I like how you said, getting hit in the head with the hat hurts. And that night, you literally watched Balls Mahoney hit someone probably as hard as humanly possible with a metal chair.
Yes.
But oh, that hat. Don't get hit with a hat.
They broke a Corona bottle over his head.
There you go.
So how does that conversation go? Is he like, hey, nice to meet you for the first time when I'm doing your show? And you're like, actually, it's not the first time.
I met him backstage at like was it a TNT? What was it? We went to see some wrestling. I met him backstage, and I told him, and he goes, I remember you. But it was like 16 years later, and he remembered. And then we literally are good friends now. He's the nicest guy in the world, I promise you that.
Boom, boom, Cabana. Boom, boom, Cabana. Boom, boom, Cabana. It's Cabana.